Hi everyone! My name is Katy, and thank you for joining me for another Animal Crossing video. Today I'm going to be building a very beautiful and serene little shrine gate walkway. It is loosely inspired by Jujutsu Kaisen with a Polyphia cherry blossom twist, so let's get started. So this build is going directly next to where I left off in my entrance build. As I start connecting that path, let me show you an image of what I am inspired by for this build. This is a scene from the ending 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and as soon as I saw this, I wanted to create it in Animal Crossing. I was very inspired, and I knew that we had the Torii Gate items and those tall lanterns, so I just thought it was going to be perfect, and I really do like how it turned out, and it's just in time for Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I'm super excited and getting hyped, and this just added fuel to that fire. So I'm starting with this walkway. I had to map out where I wanted it to be with the trees and the cliff, and I'm just using that same amazing path by Colin Crossing. As always, the codes from today's build will be in my description box below. I'm really loving these codes and how creative they've let me be with my build so far, and I'm just excited to keep building now that I'm done with villager hunting for at least a little while. Yeah, I am so excited to be back speed building. It's definitely my favorite part of the game, especially compared to those very long villager hunts that I have been doing, which will of course be linked down below as well. So I'm just fixing up my codes here and adding those beautiful Torii gates. I thought they were just perfect based on my inspiration image. I added some stone dog statues, which I'm really starting to love. I've never used those before until this island, and I really love how they look. Then I had to mess around with the trees and lantern placement. I also was going back and forth on where to put bamboo trees and where to put cherry blossom trees. While I was inspired by the frame from the Jujutsu Kaisen outro, I also wanted this to be very Polyphia, very cherry blossom and cutesy. I took some creative liberties, and I'm just so happy with how it turned out. I had so much fun building this, and I really hope that you all enjoy it as much as I do. So once I got those lanterns all placed where I wanted them, I'm just adding some different cherry blossom items to tie it into my theme. Now I basically mirrored this bottom part up on the top part of the road. I really like mixing the natural elements with the more town core vibe that I have in this island. I think it's very cozy and very serene. That is definitely how I feel about this build in particular. Once I have that all mapped out, I am going to start laying down the codes again. Lots of codes and trees in this build today, but I really have missed building, so I was having fun just with the monotony of laying down the paths. So then I'm adding the Torii gates again, and I decided to make this walkway go up into a cliff with some stairs. In the inspiration image, it does lead into some stairs, although I don't know what's going to be on top of the stairs. I'm thinking either one of the houses, potentially Shino's, as a shrine building, or maybe a lookout kind of area, so that is something I will decide at a future date, but I did want to include those stairs as part of today's build. Once I have that started, I go back and start adding the tall lanterns again to this side of the walkway. I think that this item was absolutely perfect for what I was going for, and I decided to go with the mossy customization on these different stone items so that it really fits in with a shrine kind of vibe, I guess. So once I get the stairs in, I am fixing up the path in a few different areas. And then I just added a few of these gazebos to the cliff just to put something up there as I figure out what I ultimately want to do. I also added some paths so that this is kind of like a lookout for the time being. I think it would be really nice to have a lookout. I'm just not sure if this is exactly where I want it on the island. So still just trying to figure all those different things out. I'm trying to be a bit more laid back with this island as far as planning goes and playing it a little bit more by ear and when the creativity hits me, I guess. But I'm not used to that. Usually I plan everything out almost to the exact square on the grid. So it's a bit of a different experience, but I am having a lot of fun and flexing my creative juices. So once that's done, I'm just adding some more of my town core kind of items to the main path, like this amazing picnic set and the cruiser bike, as well as a few of the blossom lanterns. And then Shino was kind enough to teach me a new reaction. All of my villagers were hanging out while I was building this, which is always a lot of fun. Then I'm finishing up this bottom part by adding some different details like flowers, custom codes. I even added a bug model to make it feel a bit more natural. I really love using those bug models throughout the island. They're some of my favorite items of all time. And then I'm just adding flowers to the upper part as well and some custom codes. Then I had this cliff to the left side of the bottom path, and I'm just adding a few natural elements. For now, I'm not exactly sure what this will look like in the future, but I didn't just want to have an empty, blank, boring cliff while I take screenshots of this build, so I just spruced it up a little bit. There we go, y'all. What do you guys think? I love how it turned out. I think it is such a serene and special part of the island. I think especially if this leads up to a shrine of some kind, it'll just feel so special and peaceful and be very different compared to the normal builds that I do, and it will break up the kind of town core vibe that I have going on. Now, of course, I had to play a little bit into my Jujutsu Kaisen fandom, and I did make my rep look like Itadori here. Of course, I'll have these codes listed below, but I just thought this was perfect to really show the vibe that I was going for, and I had so much fun doing this. It just made me so happy, so I wanted to include it here as well. Overall, I'm super happy to be back speed building, and I will have more coming to you very, very soon. I hope that you enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a like and a comment down below. And if you'd like to see more from me, please hit subscribe. Thank you as always so much for your support. I truly appreciate you all so much. I hope that you and yours are staying safe, happy, and healthy, and I wish each and every one of you peace. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye!